And I'm not even sure. I know Jim's been working on content here for the program with Jeff, and at this point it sounds like a good time to turn it over to him. So, Jeff, or...
Well, I can take it from here. When I was introducing everybody, I didn't mention Jim Spagg, because I was saving the best for last.
Yeah.
Jim, you're out here. Everybody knows your face. And he's explicitly asked me, he wanted to come on and talk about things. And I know on your programs you are always extolling the merits of cable access. And this may be your time to talk a little bit more about it. I don't know.
Sure. Okay. Well, I have a few things to say here, so let me stand up. You can get a better shot of me. Tim, of course, alluded to the fact that this is a producer's showcase. And it just occurred to me finally, as long as they've been on it, I realized that this really is a good opportunity for any of you producers out there who have shows to come down here and say things about your show and let people know that your show is there, and further inform the general public about what's going on here. And I'm going to try and do this myself, try and show up for these shows. And I have a number of items that I want to talk about, and this is a great opportunity for me to discuss, to the public things that are on my mind, and maybe explain things to people who want to know a little bit more about what I'm about, because most people have an image of me as being a wild and crazy guy, which I am, but also I do have my serious side, and that's why I have this expression that people are too busy and too serious. I'm pointing the finger at myself when I say that, because I really can be serious about things too, and I try not to overdo it. I am the founder of Humanity School of Understanding. And Humanity School of Understanding is the world's largest church, because all you have to do to be a member is be a human being. And so that includes everyone who's human, of course.
Including politicians, right?
Oh, yeah, everyone. The good guys and the bad guys. The people we love and the people we hate, everyone. And this may sound like a paradox or may sound strange, but this kind of makes Humanity School of Understanding like a Christian religion, because Jesus Christ loved everyone. He loved the sinners, and he loved other people too. And Jesus himself said two things. He said, love one another, and he said, love your enemy. And that's important. It's important to love your enemy, and I'm going to discuss one of those enemies in a couple of minutes here. But I'd like to point out that ever since I was a child, and of course, one of the main things about being a child is that you're curious. You want to know what is life and what is life about. And so I was like anyone else. I was observing what people do and what people are like, and I did come to the conclusion that life is about people. Because if you imagine that you were the only person on earth, what would life be? It would be nothing. In fact, you couldn't even survive if you were a baby, because babies need nurture. So it's important to understand, what people are about. And the wonderful paradox about humanity, and this is a very important paradox in life, is that we are all the same. We all breathe the same air. We live on the same planet. We have the same problems. And yet we're all different. We're all individuals. We all have different input and different ideas and different considerations as to what our priorities are. And the Christians, for example, have this thing called being born again. Well, everyone should be born again, but there's more than one way to be born again. You could be born again by realizing that Jesus Christ is your Lord and Savior. You can be born again by realizing that you never thought about it before, but you have this gift which is called life. And once you realize you have this wonderful gift that you didn't ask for, you didn't ask to be born. But when you realize you have this gift, then the next big question is just as if someone had given you $1 million. The question is, what do I do with it? How can I get the most out of it? So that's where religion comes in. It's important for people to get their life organized through some kind of a philosophy which we call religion. And of course, because of that, because religion seems to be about God, but the truth is religion is about people, because people get into religion. People learn to follow religion and use it as a guide for their lives. And there are so many different religions and so many different people. So it's important to understand that people are grasping at something that will make their life work to the best advantage. And this is also true of people whom we can easily criticize, people we call the bad guys or the criminals. They do things, and it's so easy for us to judge them and say, throw them in jail and throw the key away. But the fact is that we are all criminals. It's just a matter of degree. So what I'm trying to say here is that when people commit crimes, it's because they have some kind of a problem, and in their mind, this is the best way to solve that problem. And I'm not saying they're right, but I'm saying they can be understood. And by understanding them, you know, as Christ would have liked us to do, to love our enemy, we could have tried to help them in one way or another and let them have a happy life as we are having, because we don't have maybe the serious problems that they have. So in any case, as the founder of Humanity's School of Understanding, the main concept is the godhood of man, which means that each person is a god unto themselves, in that, like a god, they are the creators of their future. Now, of course, you don't have complete control over things. There are natural events like earthquakes and tornadoes and things like that. But the decisions that you make in your life, the things you look for and find and discover and work with, are the things that are going to give you the kind of success that you're looking for. Some people want to make a lot of money. Some people want to have a lot of intelligence. Some people want a lot of love. There's just different goals that people have in life. And if you aim toward those things, if you're organized, you're probably going to find them. And I feel that I have. I've been very fortunate that way. But one of the main things I want to discuss in this area about Humanity's School of Understanding, a lot of the Christians out there are upset because I make statements like I say, man made God, and then God made man. Now, this is a conclusion that I have come to. And I'm not preaching to you, I'm not telling you that you should believe this, I don't even expect you to believe it. I'm just telling you that this is something that I've acquired, and I think it has value. And I also understand that religion is in the mind. You see, religion is a spiritual thing. And so you can believe anything you want, and so do people. They do believe whatever they want. And there are many religions, not just a Christian religion. In fact, as I understand it, in the world it might be that the Christian religion is considered a minority. There's more Hindus and Muslims or something like that. Is that right? Anybody know about that?
Oh, that's the major religions. There's like
If you add
5 major
Hindus
religions.
plus Muslims, you probably definitely get a larger
right.
number than Christians, but anyway.
In any case, I have been searching through life myself. I've been a seeker of the truth when I was 5 years old, and from there on. Well, of course, when I was 5, that's when I became an artist. That's when I knew that I was an artist. And I practiced becoming an artist, and I've become quite good at it. And I've had many satisfactory things happen. I've won prizes, I've won money, I've been in museums, and so forth. But in the thing of religion, I started out, becoming familiar with the Baptist church because my mother used to go to Baptist churches. And what I liked about the Baptist churches is that they had this thing called fellowship. And that was where all the people get together and say hello and be friends. And I thought that was great, happy people, But it seemed at the same time that there wasn't any substance aside from that. Because I was a young fellow and I wanted to know about people and life. When I was 11, my father married a woman. I was living with my mother at the time because my parents were divorced. But my father married a woman, and she wanted the kids to come and live with them, and so we did. And at that time, they insisted that we go to the Catholic school. Now, I found that, at first I thought this would be terrible because my mother didn't like Catholics. But it only took me a month to realize that I really loved it, because not only did they have all the answers, they had all the questions. They gave you all kind of questions, and like I learned about the 7 vices and the 7 virtues. And again, they're teaching about God, but what you're really learning about is humanity, because this is all directed at people. And if you want to know about people, then you want to know what people are doing and what the church is telling them and things like that.
Let me ask a couple questions.
Sure, Noah, go ahead.
You didn't use the word discuss, so let's discuss.
Yeah.
You're Jim.
Yes.
Right. You went to parochial school, is that right?
Yes, I did.
How much?
I started out in the 6th grade, and I went to the 10th grade. Completed the 10th grade.
Parochial school education.
Yeah, Catholic school.
I get 2 messages.
Okay.
I see one that you're into missionary work. Now, I don't know exactly what kind. Now, that's one thing that I see. The other thing I see is that you're an artist.
Yes.
And now, how does your art and your video work relate to the missionary